Hey guys, I just finished season 2 of Stranger Things yesterday. I didn't get a chance to review it because I was busy with some other stuff, but season 2 had come out in just a few days before Halloween. And before I get into the review, I want to say two things. One, I will not have any grades for TV shows or anything, so I'm just going to be saying my opinion and just talking about all that stuff. And I will be talking about spoilers for season 1 and 2 because I gotta talk about this. I really can't just not spoil anything because it's really hard. But if you haven't seen Stranger Things, please do first of all. But if you haven't seen Stranger Things, in the first season, basically, Joyce is a mother whose son named Will goes missing, and everybody's trying to find them. And there's the main kids. There's Mike. There's Lucas. There's Dustin, and then they eventually run into 11, who is a girl with like superpowers and stuff like that. And so that in season 1, near the end, they managed to save Will from this place called the Upside Down, which is like this sort of other dimension sort of thing with a bunch of monsters and stuff. And there's like in the first season they fought this monster called the Demigorgon. In the second season, there's, as Dustin calls it, there's these things called the Demo Dogs, which, because they look like the Demogorgon, and except they're also kind of like dogs. So Dustin sort of names them Demo Dogs in the second season, adds some humor to it because everybody keeps calling them dogs. But anyways, um, in the second season now, at the end of the first season, 11 had died, or they showed that 11 had died. And in this season, we find out that Hopper has actually been taking care of 11, and she is actually alive, and he has taught her a lot more things about life. Everybody, like, he's taught us more. He keeps having like words of the day for her to learn, like um and stuff like that. And she really misses Mike, but he doesn't really want her to leave to go anywhere or anything because he thinks it's too dangerous for her. And when we first find out that Hopper has been taking care of 11, we also learn that she has been with him for about a year now. So then later in the second season, Dustin finds this creature and he names it Dart, and he kind of thinks he like finds this new species, and they're all like sort of he sort of really develops this close bond with this creature. He names it Dart, and but they find out that but then Will sort of listens to the sounds that Dart makes and realizes that he had heard those same sounds in the Upside Down, where he had been, sort of taken by the Demigorgon in the first season. So then they're all trying to look for it, and it's revealed that Dustin is actually hiding Dart because he doesn't want them to do anything bad to him, because he still has this close bond with Dart, until he finds out that Dart really is from the Upside Down, and he gets really big, and he looks like a Demogorgon when he opens his mouth, and he eats Dustin's cat Muse, and that was a pretty disgusting scene. Then Dustin meets up with Steve Harrington, who used to, in the first season, I hated him in the first season. He was like, everything he was doing to Jonathan and everything in the first season, like, I absolutely hated this guy. But in the second season, he was one of my favorite characters because he turned into a good person in the second season. I never would have thought for a second he would become one of my favorite characters in the second season, but he does. Dustin sort of finds Steve because he can't find anybody else. Like he can't find the other kids and stuff. Also, and Steve and him Steve sort of helps him, try to find Dart, and then it sort of brings the whole group together near the end of the season. And also, I forgot to mention, there were 2 new characters introduced in the second season. One was Max, or Maxine. They find out she's this girl who beats Dustin's score in the arcade, and they're all surprised by this. And they later find out that it's this girl. And at first, she's kind of rude to them, and she kind of avoids them when they try to talk to her. But later, she becomes sort of a part of the team and whatever. At first, they don't really. Well, Mike doesn't really want her there, but then she sort of joins them. In my opinion, I didn't really care about her as much as the other characters, just because as I'd watched season 1 and season 2 up until the point where her character was introduced, I was just so close with these other kids. I didn't really care too much about her character. I did, but not much really at all. But her older brother is the other character that gets introduced. Billy is played so excellently by Dacre Montgomery, I believe that's how you say his name, because he was I hated this guy, dude. He was pretty much a psycho. After the halfway point of the season, he was because he was already such a terrible brother to Max or Maxine, whatever. But then he starts to also harass her friends, like all these other kids, and honestly, he was pretty scary at times, to be honest. All the acting in Stranger Things is top notch. The kids are just so great. It's probably been said like a million times. I haven't reviewed season 1, but because it's kind of too old now. But I just saw season 2. But the acting in both seasons is so great. It is just amazing. Like, the kids in this movie, I'm serious, it's like one of the best kid performances I've ever seen here. It's so great in this show. Negatives with season 2. See, in season 1, I loved season 1. It was so good. Like, and season 2 I loved as well. But season 1 was pretty much flawless. Like, it was almost perfect. Like, I really, really loved season 1. There was so much tension involved, and it was so fast paced. Season 2 takes a while. Like, the first couple episodes were kind of slow for me, and it took a while to really get the show going. And my other issue with the movie, other than the fact that Max's character was a little unnecessary, was I didn't really like episode 7. I know a lot of people share the same opinion, but I don't hate episode 7 like a lot of people do, because there were a couple things that I thought were good in episode 7, but for the most part, I do agree that I kind of wanted to get back to everything with the other kids, with Mike and all of the stuff. Thankfully, 11 decides to leave her sister, which is something, I mean, like, I know I was supposed to. I didn't really care because I was like, yes, finally, she's going back to Mike, and now we'll get to the better stuff and not everything that happened in this episode, because it was pretty unnecessary. Episode 7 was just not very good at all. But once 11 gets back to Mike and everybody, it is just great. Like, episode 8, actually, like, even before 11 came back, because she starts to leave in episode 7, but in episode 8 and 9 were my favorite episodes in the whole season. Episode 8 and 9 were so fast-paced, and it was so tension-filled the whole time, and I absolutely like, this last 2 episodes were absolute masterpiece, flawless, but, like I said, it takes a while to really get it takes a while to really get into the actual stuff. You don't really know where the season is going until after a couple episodes. I do of course like season 1 more, but just by a little bit. I do love both seasons. This is a great show. I'm definitely looking forward to season 3. And let me know what you guys thought of season 2 and even season 1. Um, both shows, I mean, both seasons are great in my opinion, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to next year, I think, when season 3 is going to come out. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and share. I'd really appreciate it if you did. And as always, have a great day. Peace out.